We made a mistake today. Well, not one. There were multiple. I'm sure.
Sure you couldn't chalk it up just to one?
No, definitely not. But we made a mistake today. Because we usually do this. No. We usually do this before lunch, and then we go eat lunch.
It's like the celebratory thing.
Yeah. But we did that backwards today, and we had a plan for lunch. We were going to go to one of our favorite little street taco joints right here by my house.
Mm-hmm. Always consistent.
Always consistent. Just a good street taco. Yes.
Little Nights tacos.
Great little place. Little hole in the wall.
Yes.
Place right off Waterloo.
But as are some of the best ones. They always are.
I heard,
little holes in the
saw
walls.
A post where somebody was referring to this area as Guthmond.
Guthmond. I don't like that.
You don't like Guthmond?
I don't. That does not give me fun, good vibes.
Guthmond.
Where you live? Guthmond.
I live in Guthmond. Guthrie and Edmond. It's where they meet.
What's it smell like in Guthmond? It smells like raw sewage.
So anyway, but we were going to go to Little Nights.
It smells a little guthy.
A little guthy in here. That's the name of this podcast, Guthmond.
Little Guthmond. Guthmond.
Welcome to Guthmond. Anyway, there's been talk. There's all that development out there at Waterloo and I-35.
Yeah.
I've heard. So there is. It's not going to be there, but there is an Atwoods coming to Edmond.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Neat.
Which is funny about that is that when I talked to Preston Atwood on the phone, he was like, "Yeah, I don't know if Edmond's really our demographic. I'm not sure yet. How? And I'm like, listen, there's a lot of white ladies here who like chickens in their backyard.
Oh yeah.
Bud, come on, this is your joint. I promise you." And here they are. Looks like they're going to be putting in an Atwoods.
Is it like right there where all that Brahms stuff is?
No, it's not going to be there. They're going into
else?
something that's gone out.
Oh, okay.
They're going to move into
not a new build.
Not a new build. No, not a new build. I don't think is what I read the other day. But right there, Waterloo and I-35. There's lots of things coming in. And there's been this ongoing rumor that a Buc-ee's is coming.
A Buc-ee's.
A Buc-ee's.
Wow.
It's going to be somewhere between there and like the Guthrie, a Buc-ee's. It's one of the places that Buc-ee's is looked at for Oklahoma. Yeah.
Well.
So, chased a rabbit there.
Chased a rabbit. Big time rabbit. But it's worth chasing.
Have you seen how much, like you're walking into a Buc-ee's and they talk about like their hire and you see like what their management makes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've talked before, like maybe we should work at Buc-ee's.
I'd leave you in a heartbeat.
Just go work at Buc-ee's. I just follow you.
We manage and assistant manage Buc-ee's.
Oh, what a crap show. How did the Buc-ee's in Edmond go out? Simple answer. Brad Clay and Adam Carter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like we could run a pretty tight ship for a while.
Yeah, I do too. Listen, I am really good at being a butthole.
No one wants to work there.
But it would have to be a situation where, like, I don't come out of the office only to rip butt. I don't know, though.
You're a bad cop?
I don't know. I take that back because people tend to like me better than you.
That's just the... But then they get to know the real you.
It's true. It kind of is true. And then they're like, yeah, Brad's kind of...
I really had this backwards.
Brad's not that great of a guy. I had this backwards. I didn't think I'd like Adam, but turns out Brad is a giant pile of Guthmond.
He must live in Guthmond.
That guy's got to live in Guthmond.
He's got Guthmond vibes.
He's got Guthmond written all over him. Look at that guy. It's Guthmond written all over him.
Guthmond vibes.
So
that's it. Guthmond vibes.
Guthmond vibes.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the podcast?
That's it. That's this one.
All right. I gotta remember that because every time we do this, and I'll be like, oh, that's what's going to be the title, and then we actually get into it.
And it changes.
And no, I can't remember what we said.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm like watching the hour-long podcast, and I don't know.
I just ain't got time for that.
Well, I ain't got time on how these people do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they stick with us for that long. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to go eat lunch. We're going to Little Nights. And on the way, there's a restaurant that's been like 3 things. And
it's had a history.
It's had history. And the last place there was a place called Stacy's Place.
I remember we ate at Stacy's Place.
Shepherd's pie was awesome.
It was really good.
On a cold day. Oh, go in there, get you a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was so good.
It was a good shepherd's pie.
But anyway, so this place has been a couple things, and we're driving by. What's the name of the place?
Oh, I don't really know.
We were literally just there.
I know, but
we both are drinking Coca-Colas from there.
All I remember, it's a pretty good little sound. All I remember is seeing coastal seafood authentic coastal Mexican. Is that what it said? And
coastal
that was
Mexican
for me.
seafood. Authentic coastal Mexican seafood.
And we were like, we really should try that sometime.
We ought to give it a try.
Should we do it today?
And we did.
And we gave it the old whip.
We went in. Wasn't a lot of people in there. So I want to give a shout out to this place, which we have to figure out the name of it. You Google while we
Google it real quick.
We come in, we sit down. They bring out chips, and it was like the salsa was like a salsa and
like a pico de gallo, yeah,
pico mix. It was very good salsa. But then brought out several different hot sauces. You tried the habanero. I did not because I do not enjoy
pain,
burning booty.
You don't enjoy the afterburn?
I'm not a big fan of the afterburn. And so you had the habanero. I did not. The avocado sauce, excellent.
Yes.
The green sauce,
also wonderful.
So good that you did what when we left?
I went and asked for 2. I said, "Do you sell it by the bottle?" And they said no, but she gave me 2 like to-go container things for their green salsa. I wanted Casey to be able to try it. She loves that kind of stuff too. So
that was, that's a huge compliment coming from Adam Carter.
I love green salsa,
and the red sauce was really good. And so anyway, we ended up ordering 3 tacos, 3 street tacos. We did the mahi mahi. Just burped. This Coke is getting me.
It's getting you.
Wow.
This is
couldn't even resist it.
Not even a 0. It's actually this is the full unleaded.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Version.
It definitely is.
That's the full unleaded.
Excuse me, folks. It's just
I don't remember what it was. It started with a T. It was like Tipoco or something like that. But it was a shrimp stuffed inside of a pepper, wrapped in bacon and fried
on the taco.
And that was the meat of the taco.
It was surprisingly good.
Very
good. Bacony.
Very bacony.
But it was good.
I would say a little bit bacon domineered.
Yep. Okay.
Of the 3 tacos we ate, I think that one was my least favorite one. That doesn't mean that it was bad.
Right.
But it was my least favorite.
And then
we
just went with we both got the exact same thing. And we both went with the classic.
Just good old fashioned pastor taco.
Can't go wrong with a pastor, and it was solid. It was really good.
Solid taco.
But that's not what stole the show.
Oh no, we're at this place. It's like a seafood
place. Yeah, and so I was like, we didn't. We got a fish taco. I got the shrimp taco, but I don't feel like I did justice because the menu is overwhelming.
Yes,
the menu is overwhelming. There is so much stuff on the menu, and it was a little bit overwhelming. So we ended up asking the waitress, "Hey, these appetizers?" Because they got oysters. They've got what was that crab thing?
Crab fingers.
Crab fingers.
Crab
and it was the
fingers.
Claws broken open,
like the thumb, like a pincher's like this. You know, like you can grab the pincher and you snap that part off and pull it out, and there's like the big hunk of meat stuck on it. It was just those.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks incredible.
It did look really good.
It looked really, really good.
Yeah, it did. It looked really, really good. Anyway, but she said you need to try the what was it again?
Cucarachas.
The cucarachas, which I'm very familiar with the song.
Yeah.
No idea that maybe it's referring to shrimp. I don't know.
We think it's referring to shrimp.
I don't know.
I mean, I should probably look that up too.
I know. We'd probably just cuss somebody.
Yeah. What did they say?
Did he just say cucaracha? Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Canceled again.
And we're back down to 5.
If I had a TikTok still, it would be canceled again for community violations. Anyway, so there was so we got the shrimp, and they brought it out, and was there 20?
I don't think there was 20. There was probably like 12 on there.
12?
Yeah, I think we both had like 6. I mean, there was a lot,
bro,
of shrimp, but they're
so many shrimp.
Full head-on, wild caught, butterflied.
I'm just gonna open. I'm gonna make this screen come back on because I'm scared of that computer.
Yeah,
it'll go away. Anyway, so they're wild caught, what it said, but it's a whole shrimp.
It was really good.
It's a whole shrimp, head, everything, and get in there, seasoned, incredible. It was phenomenal. I can't talk about how good it was enough. That stole the show.
I'm not sure it is on there yet on Google Maps or on.
Let me.
Sinaloa.
Okay.
Sinaloa Signature Restaurante.
There you go.
There you go,
folks. We want to give a shout out
because it was very good.
It really was, and my neighbor was in there.
Mm-hmm.
My neighbor Brett, not Frankie.
Not Frank.
Not Frank the Tank.
Not the Frank.
It was my neighbor Brett, and him and his wife were in there having lunch together, and he was like, "Oh, we eat here all the time. It's so good." And so I feel like we found a new spot.
Yes. It's always a victory. I'm trying to see if they have a picture of the cucarachas, but I don't see one on here. Because they were really good.
Dude, I took a picture.
You took a picture. That's right.
I took a picture.
You took a picture of the cucarachas. You need to upload it to the thing.
Where's the good camera? You want me here?
Yeah, there you go.
Ready? Oh, that's it. Great. That's what you want. Hold on.
Will you turn your brightness down?
Try it again.
It does look perfect.
Jeez, how do I try it again?
It still looks like garbage. We made an attempt,
guys.
folks.
They were so good. The cucaracha. Anyway, I promise you, they were good. It was excellent food and exciting times. So excited we found a new place right here by our house. If you haven't tried it, venture north. If you're out of the metro area, wherever you are, it's worth checking out. Good, authentic Mexican seafood.
Very, very good.
What do you?
Yeah. Uh-huh. That's what we ate today. Whatever cucaracha means. There you go.
Hold on.
La cucaracha.
Hey Siri. What does cucaracha mean?
There ain't no way she's going to do it.
The cockroach.
No way. The cockroach.
No way.
I feel sick now.
Stop it. You can't.
Oh, it's really got me. It's got me bad.
That is not funny. That is not funny. The cucaracha.
Oh, God, it really does.
Is the cockroach.
Oh.
You know, they talk about lobsters being the cockroaches of the sea.
Yes.
So, I guess shrimp are right there with them.
La cucaracha. Oh, man,
it's
that really did get me.
About a cockroach. That song is about a cockroach.
A cucaracha.
We're learning lots of things today. Learning a lot of things
today.
Wish I did not.
Wow, that really.
It got me a little bit.
Now it may be called the cucaracha. We've gone from Guthmond to cucaracha. You're really thinking about it too hard right now. The more you think about it, the worse it's going to get.
I just can't not see them on the plate now.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Just a plate full of cockroaches.
And there was a big June bug in the parking lot that like had partially injured, and it was walking across it, but at first I thought it was a giant cockroach in the parking lot. It's got me a little shook.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, speaking of death,
I'm just gonna jump right in. Hard segue.
Tammy is no more. Just take a moment to honor Tammy. Tammy, the
moment of silence.
It van. Tammy. Oh, the segment's brought to you by Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Tammy, the transit van, is no more. I'm going to insert a video right here so people can get a grasp of the nature of Tammy's situation. Take a moment. All right, so Adam, tell us about the death of Tammy.
Tammy died a slow and painful death. I actually have no idea what happened. We took it to.
Currently, she's not dead yet.
No, she's not dead. She's on hospice, and we took her. We drove to Texas. No problems. Drove back. No problems. I even drove it another day or two. No problems. But then Tuesday morning, got up.
Tammy
drove the kids to school, and then on the way back, it sounded like I had a jackhammer in the engine. It was not a good time. There she is. Oh. And it gets worse.
I don't know if you're. You don't have to be a mechanic to know that is not what.
That is no bueno.
It's not a noise you want your vehicle making at any point in time.
No.
And so Tammy is done.
Tammy, the transit van, is done.
Yeah, she's gone. So rest in peace, Tammy. And so that puts Adam back on the hunt. Because here's the deal. We talked about it, and I was like, your wife has said, Adam, just go buy a new vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do it.
No.
You are the cheapest. And we had a conversation. You're like, I just can't do a payment. I just can't do a payment.
It just makes me sick thinking
it
about
makes
having
me
a car
sick
payment.
because you had a really nice brand new.
And Tammy was supposed to be. Tammy wasn't a cheap van at all.
It was a 2016. She was 9 years old.
It was a 2016 van. But I remember when I bought it, and I remember sending you a video, and you're like, "That's one of the nicest vehicles I've ever seen you purchase."
Well, it's still. That doesn't speak volumes. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. Jorge's sitting out here in the driveway.
Yeah, Jorge's a great vehicle.
Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't. You're not helping yourself by saying, "Well, that's one of the nicest vehicles I've ever owned."
It's not.
That's like going.
The nicest vehicle I ever owned was that 2020 Ram 2500.
It is 100%.
It was a nice truck.
And you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do the payments.
Couldn't do the payments. And so
they made me sick.
They made you sick. And so we had a conversation the other day. I was like, man, why don't you go get something? Go get something new. Go get a vehicle, because you spend so much time having to, do tinkering with vehicles.
Mm.
And you were like, oh, I'd rather spend time working on them than, having that payment. And I told you, it's because you value money more than you value time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have good words of wisdom very often. But by gosh.
But you hit the nail on the head.
But by gosh, that is some truth right there.
Some days.
You value money more than time because you spend a lot more time having to tinker and fix this and fix that and fix this and messing with this than you would, loving on your kids, hanging out with your kids. So that's what it comes down to. You care about money more than your kids.
You love money more than your family.
That's right. That's what it comes down to. Because that's the only thing we ever spend our time doing. Is
yes.
Things with our kids and our families.
Tell you what, Hurley's getting good at working on cars.
Trying to find the silver lining in your situation. I appreciate that.
Got to teach him how to change them brakes. Got to teach him.
Well, we did do that together.
We did.
On my truck.
We did
do that.
Yeah.
We did do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tammy's gone. Put you in the, and I'm talking to her. I was like, man, you need to just buy a new vehicle, and we're sending you stuff. We're talking back and forth about it. And then you send me the government auction page.
What? Well, technically, my dad sent it to me first.
I know, but you forwarded immediately along.
Which is the part that was hilarious, because my dad finds out, and then that was shortly after you and I were just done talking, and we were like, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go look at some, and I have been looking at new or very recently used vehicles, and just trying to see what I can do to make it happen. But immediately after our conversation, my dad texted me and said, I heard that Tammy went down, and he sends me, the Daykill auction is coming.
Your dad is part of the problem.
I am it's in the blood.
It is. It's in the blood.
In the blood.
It's in the blood, man.
It's in the blood. Power in the blood.
So there's some big news this week going around. A trend on social media.
Oh, I definitely missed it.
I know. Could you do that? You were making some good tunes with your bottle a minute ago. Could you do that again?
Oh, yeah. We figured out that if you hit the microphone with your glass bottle, it kind of gets you a bass kind of. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice. It's pretty good.
Anyway, so
you need me to keep going so you can flow?
No. The big news is that the trending on social media is that redheads are actually
better
black people.
Really?
Yes.
Redheads are black people?
They're black. Yes.
How in the world? Because of like an albino situation?
No. So I deep dove into this because obviously my best friend is
you just need to be able to say my best friend's a black guy?
I mean, bro. That would have been awesome. I could say my best friend is...
my best friend is an Indian black man.
He's an Indian black man. So it turns out that it's more of like a social status thing where these redheads are basically like from a stance situation, how they were treated, basically like similar to like the black community was.
We're less than
black.
Something.
Well, that was kind of the
idea.
Treated
like a marginal.
Treated like a marginal. I think is what it really comes down to. And so like all these redheads have like gone onto social media sharing about how like all these trauma of like growing up and getting picked on and all this stuff.
We're the black people of the white people? Is that what that's the cell they're trying to go with?
That's the cell. That's the cell.
Mm.
And like these people on social media, these redheads on social media are like, their social media accounts are blowing up from African American followins. Like they're
black people following redheaded people.
Yeah, and they're like, we're united in this.
We're together.
We're together.
Our skin pigmentation is literally the furthest away.
But we're together. And so anyway, I didn't know if you'd seen that or not.
No, I absolutely have not.
But that's kind of.
However, now I am going to go ahead and claim it.
You are?
I'm going to go straight ahead. We're there. So, I don't know what I'm claiming, but
so now my next question is.
Careful, you don't want to offend my new sensibilities.
Well, so is it ginger or ginger?
What am I, ginger?
I'm curious. Like, can I not? I don't want a hard R. I don't want a hard R. I don't want a hard R.
We are so getting canceled on this one.
Oh god, I spilled my drink. I don't want a hard R and get. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So, like, where does that? I don't know where we draw the line at on that. But
you can't say that. That's only for the redheads. That's only for the redheads.
That's fine. I just need to know.
You know what? We have a good relationship. You can say it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
This is. Oh.
So I'm invited to the barbecue.
You're invited to the barbecue or the potato eating contest.
I love mashed potatoes.
I love mashed taters.
I love a porter.
I love
The old Texas porter.
Gosh. Is it a porter? What's it called?
A butler.
Butler.
Sorry. The butler.
The butler.
Man.
Porter would be a good name too.
I feel like they used to have something called the porter. Anyway.
Yeah.
That was really the big news that
Wow. Gingers are the new black people.
They are.
People do not have enough going on in their life.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I agree with that. We got too much. There's people got too much time on their hands.
There's way too much time.
Yeah, way too much time. There's a lot of things in our society today that I look at and say that the only reason that exists is because people have too much time.
You got way too much time.
Yeah. Yep.
I can't believe someone actually pulled that off.
They did. Yeah, and apparently it's been embraced really, really well. Yeah. Lots of videos out there of redheads sharing their stories about, feeling like they've been marginalized and picked on because they're a redhead. And immediately I think of that one guy, like, gingers do have souls.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Do you feel like, were you picked on? Do you feel like
I told you a story right before I got in here. All my friends that would make fun of me.
I wasn't even paying attention.
You were? Yeah, that's typical of you.
100%.
Typical of you people.
So gosh.
Always marginalized over here.
Yeah. All right. So tell it again.
I don't know if it's podcast worthy.
Okay. Well, you felt like you got picked on for being a redhead.
Yeah. No. I get there's always the things that redheads typically get made fun of for. But I also just didn't really care as the other part of it. So that I can dish out what I take. That's the other thing. It's like some people, they just can't take a joke either. Yeah. Some people are too sensitive on that kind of stuff, or they don't learn, or maybe they didn't grow up with enough trepidation in their life or something. I don't know.
Well, that comes back to I think that's part of the issue in our culture today is that we have become a little soft, a little bit soft. And maybe that carries over to some of that, but there's a fine line there.
Yeah.
So,
I never felt excessively bullied for anything specific. But there were definitely jokes, but no more jokes that I would throw back in their faces.
Yeah.
For stuff. I had black friends, Asian friends. I had guys that were in this. I learned how to play one of my favorite card games from a group of these Asian guys in a history class at high school.
Oh, wow.
And they were some of my really good friends, but they would speak Vietnamese while we were playing this game, and I had no idea what they're saying, and I'm pretty sure they were ganging up on me to take my money.
Yeah, 100%. They were talking to one another about how to win.
But they gave me crap, and I gave them so much garbage as well. It's a if you want to be offended, you can find a way to be offended. It's
very Guthmond of you.
Yes.
Sounds like a very Guthmond thing to do.
Well, I can say these things now. I'm a minority group.
Oh, gosh. In a sense, yeah. I know, and I know a handful of redheads, and I'm sure there were moments along the way where all of them were picked on.
Persecuted.
Okay. All right. Hey.
Really just run down by life and society.
Potatoes.
That's racist.
I can't say that anymore. No. God, there's so many things getting canceled today.
So many canceled.
Anyway, so our kids are almost out of school.
Mine are.
Your kids are out of school.
They are full out of school.
How is that? How's the first week out?
It was good. They've been today. They got up today. I got up super early. Got invited to a pastor appreciation breakfast. So, drug my youth pastor self over to Stroud, Oklahoma, and did that. But when I got home, they were all gone, and they went to run some errands. Like Addie had to go get an ENT, check the tube in her ear to make sure it fell out. And they were like, "While we're there, can we go to Brahms?"
Brums.
So it's like any Wellston country kid is going to be like, we don't ever see that Brahms.
How about the new Brahms at Waterloo and I-35?
It's banging.
It's banging, dude. Got
It is
it's
banging.
got its own water tower.
When I walked by,
like a milk jug.
or when I drove by this morning, because I missed my exit, so I came from the north and drove all the way to Waterloo.
Did you really?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, boy.
So, but I drove by it, and I was like, golly, man, the parking lot's full.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, big deal, man.
But, yeah, we don't have Brahms in Lincoln County.
Yeah, you don't, because that's right. You talked about this because y'all have a Borden milk.
Highland.
It's
The Highland country.
It's Highland country.
The Highland, there can be only one.
I can't even comment on it. I'm scared to talk about it now. Using that accent and the whole thing. I can't even talk. I can't even intervene and say anything anymore. Like you bring up anything about Irish or whatever.
Scottish, redhead.
I can't. I gotta just sit here.
I just kind of keep it to myself.
I gotta just sit here
because I don't want to be canceled.
I don't want to get canceled by the
you gingest.
Oh my God. I'm not hard R-ing it, man. I'm not going to. I'm not hard
All
R.
you can think about now is the correlation.
I know, man. Like I can't hard R, bro. You can't hard R.
With my gingers.
Oh my gosh, bro. You can't do it, man.
That's just crazy.
I know.
I can't believe it's a real thing.
It is a real thing, too.
Wheels are completely off the bus at this point.
Welcome to the podcast.
To even insinuate that I'm in the same category and ballpark of things is just licentious is the only word I could think of.
100%. Anyway,
but you still can't say it.
So you guys, your county has to be one of the only counties, not the only one because there's not one in Roger Mills County, but one of the few counties that there's not a Brahms. Like it's
not a Brahms. It's not a Brahms. You got to go to Tecumseh.
Is that the closest one?
Or you got to go to Cush.
Is there not? There's a Brahms in Shawnee,
Pottawatomie County.
But I know, but I wouldn't go all the way to Tecumseh.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying you got to go all the way to Tecumseh,
Yes.
Tecumseh south of
I know,
Shawnee.
but to go to the Brahms in Shawnee, you got to go into Shawnee. If I'm going from Wellston to Tecumseh, it's almost the same difference because I'm telling you, it is.
No way.
It's because it's straight off 177. It is not that much farther.
No way.
I'm telling you.
That Brahms is right off of. There's a Brahms right there off the highway.
No, it's close to OBU.
No.
Yes.
Pull it up. Map it.
Okay, I'll map it. Yeah, I'm right.
Okay. Anyway.
You're arguing because I'm a ginger, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. You're not good with distance.
That's
everybody know.
Way to play into the stereotype.
Everybody knows you're
just
not
continuing the things that the society's put upon us.
That's right.
It's not good with distance.
Not good with distance. Scottish and Irish.
Yeah.
Really close to one another, but not the same. Anyway, so yeah.
So there is an agreement.
So, but Brahms, not being there because there's an agreement, right? Like you can say there's like this. I mean, we're not going to say.
Do you think that one of the seven doesn't know what Brahms is at this point?
One of the seven.
One of the
our
seven
listeners. Yeah, no, we've got Zach doesn't live here.
So Brahms for everybody.
And
we talked about it multiple times.
I don't know about Cliff because
Cliff.
But Cliff went to school. He spent some time at TCU.
Yeah,
I believe. I think that's right. And so he spent some time in Fort Worth. So I don't know if there was a Brahms in that area at that time. I think there is now.
Yeah.
So that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Brahms. They don't know. Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy Store. It's in your neighborhood. Wake up.
That's all you need to know right there.
That's it.
That defined it in a clever little jingle that has been seared into our memories for all of time.
It's kind of like
the BC Clark. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Just like it. So
most sales are after Christmas, but ours is just before. Most everything is marked way down. With service you can't ignore.
No, savings.
With savings you can't ignore. At Oklahoma's oldest jeweler. Since 1892. You know what? For your heritage, I'm a little bothered by your lack of rhythm with this song.
I'm letting it flow.
Oh.
A little jazzy.
Oh. I don't know.
Hey, it's my people's music, okay?
I don't think the Beastie Clark song is...
What if the Beastie Clark, if he's a ginger, I'm going to die. I'm looking it up.
The owner of Beastie Clark.
I'm looking it up.
He's not. There's
If
no
he
way.
is,
Statistically speaking.
I'm leaving. If he, statistically speaking.
Statistically speaking, he's not going to be a redhead. I can't even say the G word anymore, bro. I can't. I was like, I'm saying redhead. I want to say it, but I feel weird now. He's not. He's not. He's not, bro. I see pictures over there. He's not.
He's bald. Could have been. Could have been at one time, long, long ago. That would have been too perfect if you just pulled it up. It's just like curly fro ginger. Like the next level.
Oh, man. Good for him. He's not.
Yeah. But any Lincoln County is Highland milk territory, Highland dairy territory.
Okay.
And Brahms kind of had an agreement. Not an official.
And Highland, like, you get Highland like at Dollar General.
It's the sad milk. Let's just be honest. It's the milk. It's the chocolate milk you get at the gas station.
Is it because the cows aren't happy?
I don't know what it is.
Why would you say it's sad milk?
It's the sad milk. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's the milk that you get at school in the little cartons.
I don't understand how they milk them strawberries.
Strawberry milks.
I don't understand how they do it.
It's vegan.
So that's it's also the one that comes from like you said at school, little school milk.
Yeah,
cartons,
the little school milk cartons, and like
if
chocolate milk.
Brahms got into it, they'd take over the world.
Oh, they take it over.
They would. Everybody would want Brahms,
but Brahms is too high class for that.
I agree with that.
It's too high class for that.
I agree with that.
It's too high class for that.
Yeah.
Highland, they I probably shouldn't have said any of that because Highland, like when we do our Big Bang Family Freedom firework show out in Wellston.
Not anymore, bud. Not anymore.
They used to be a sponsor.
Highland is canceled.
Highland's owner is one of the 7.
That would be so great.
I am so sorry. It's just the ginger in me. I'm sorry. I have a problem controlling the temper and stuff. So that's apparently another ginger thing. So what would be all the stereotypical things that a ginger has going on, Brad?
Man, I just don't feel like it's culturally acceptable for me to speak on that.
Even taking the bait.
Being anti-ginger.
Anti-ginger. Anti-ginge.
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 I just don't feel like it's something I can really speak on. But my observations would be struggles for gingers.
Hashtag.
The sun.
The sun.
The sun is your enemy.
Mortal enemies.
Mortal enemy is your sun, and the lack of melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not melatonin.
Melanin.
Melanin. Not melatonin.
Melatonin is what you take
to go to sleep.
I could use some more melatonin.
Man, I don't know. That Mexican food did a pretty good job.
It did do a nice little job.
So
them cockroaches are swimming in my tummy right now.
Bro, stop.
I legitimately don't know if I can eat them anymore. I really don't know if I could do it as much as they were so good. And that brown sauce, it's like you're dipping the cockroaches in the doo-doo sauce. I can't. They may be done. Like, we got to come up with some better naming conventions.
Yeah, I may have to mention this. Hey, we went in. We looked up what cucaracha was.
We made a mistake.
And when I saw that it was a cockroach, I'm sorry, but I've got a problem. Anyway, but the sun would definitely be one of the major obstacles for a ginger. I would say the other thing would be salvation. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Gingers have souls.
Oh,
they have souls.
Good. That's good. We're going to clip that one. That'll get us real canceled, especially with the trend going on.
I know.
It's okay. We can say it.
I'm kidding.
I can say all of this.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Just not Brad. I can't really believe that. I can't wait to leave and go look this up because I cannot believe it.
There's a ton of videos out there right now about people, and like legitimately, like hopefully, the positive of it is hopefully that it does bring some. There's some people that were carrying some hurts. Honestly, like I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure it doesn't matter what you have.
When's the next group that's saying I'm in common with black people because I got a big ears or a long nose or like some other physical feature that has marginalized you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what I was getting at was to say, kids are mean. Period. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so if there's probably some people carrying around some things that they probably needed, some therapy. Some therapy on. I mean, my son Matthias is deaf in one ear, and when he had his surgeries and had to go all through that with removing a cholesteatoma, kind of tumor-like growth in his ear, and it had eaten his hearing bones, and I mean, there were kids that were mean to him because he was
deaf in one ear,
and he had to wear this thing over his ear for part of a school year, and kids were, they were mean, and it's like, dude, like that thing could have killed him, and you're like making fun of a kid because so unfortunately those things are there, and part of that I feel like is almost growing up, it's just like it's going to happen, you can't avoid it, and so it's like, how do we handle it? But anyway,
it's one of those things that you go through in life, and the older you get, that you realize the people that make fun of people for certain things are actually just like the really insecure ones. Like when you need to make fun of somebody else to bring them down, you are actually the one that I should feel sorry for
sure, man. And just how people act or whatever,
it's like that hurt people
yeah, for sure. I saw an 11-year-old baseball coach this weekend get ejected from a baseball game for F-bombing.
That's nice.
And classy. It's like
real Guthmond. He had a little Guthmond vibe. This guy gets thrown out for horrible language and just acting like a fool and like over dramatic. Like if a call of like a ball, it was a ball he felt was a strike and it wasn't for them. I mean, just dramatic, like throwing his hands up. He was a first base coach, throwing his hands up, like walking 10 foot the other way, like putting his hands on his hips. And how are you gonna make calls behind the plate at first base?
100%, dude. Like you cannot.
Like you got literally no grounds to argue.
The only time you can do that, like I got a warning this weekend from an umpire. I got a warning from an umpire this weekend for the only comment spoken to him. He had one comment made to him, but I think it was, so he called 2 strikes where the catcher's glove made contact with the dirt catching it.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, to me, you can say, hey, that's not a strike.
You're really working up to the ball.
Okay. Right.
Scoop it.
And so he made two strike calls that went against us and none against them. And but he made 2 calls. He called both 2 strikes that were contact with the dirt. He's got dirt
he's got dirt with the ball.
And these are 11-year-old kids. We're not talking about throwing 12-6 breaking balls. These are fastballs and changeups. And so it wasn't a strike, either one of them. And I told the kid, I said, hey, if the catcher's glove has to make contact with the dirt, that's not a pitch that you want to swing at. And I said it, obviously the umpire can hear that, but it's more like I'm telling the kids, like, hey man, like that's not a pitch you can hit. It's not what you're looking for. You're looking for, look for your pitch.
And the ump thought that is a pitch you should be looking for.
Apparently so. And it's because he called it a strike. So he missed those 2, but that wasn't bad. But Josiah was up to bat, and the pitcher throws a ball. It bounces. It's coming at him. It bounces, hits Josiah in the shin on his front leg, bounces and goes back underneath the umpire.
Mm-hmm.
So like way into the batter's box, hits his leg, goes underneath the umpire. Catcher, like kind of hits the catcher and stops underneath the umpire. And Josiah's like, he starts going to first.
Hey, hit by pitch.
And the umpire's like, no, right back here. I don't have it hitting him, right back here. And I just simply said, our coach argues it or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, batter in the box. And I was like, you missed that one. And he lost his mind.
The ump did?
Lost his mind. That was all. And that's the only thing that was said to him. The other team never said a word to him. We didn't say anything to him. The only comment was made was me earlier saying, hey, if the catcher's glove makes contact with the dirt to catch, it's probably not a pitch you want to be swinging at.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably 2 innings before that. And nothing else has been said to this guy. And he turns around, he rips his mask off, and he looks at me and he goes, that is a warning for you. Like that. And I'm like, okay. And he puts his mask back on, gets behind the catcher.
Yeah.
Jumps out, calls time again, rips his mask off, looks at our first base coach and goes, Coach, I said, that was an official warning for this parent of yours over here. And our first base coach looks at it, he's like, okay, you've been warned. And I was like, okay, bud. Like that. Well, obviously, like for his reaction, like our coaches were like, he must have cussed him or something. You know what I mean? Like he flipped out.
Yeah.
And so our head coach like comes back by and he was like, dude, what did you say? And I go, you missed that one. He was like, what? And I go, that ball that hit Josiah in the leg that you argued about, I was like, I just said, you missed that one. And he's like, that was all you said? I go, yeah. And other parents beside me were like, that's all he said.
It was soft.
And so then our first base coach walked over to him and was like, hey, man, what did he say? And he's like, well, the thing that bothered me is that he said, you. He said, when you say you, it means that you were directing a derogatory comment at me. And he's like, I'm just not going to stand for that. And he goes, oh, so you is the breaking line. And he was like, yep, you is the breaking line for me. And he goes, well, now that we're past it, did you miss that call? And he just, like I said, the umpire just kind of giggled.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, maybe, And he's like, all right, and walked off. So, anyway, but I did see this dad get ejected from a game for acting like an idiot. And so, we do live in a society where, people act like idiots, feel like they can get away with things that, it happens a lot in youth sports,
Oh, yeah.
It definitely happens a lot in youth sports, parents acting like idiots. And I'm loud, my voice just carries. I'm a coach's kid, and my voice carries like a coach's kid. But anyway, so I don't know. We live in a society where people are a little bit weak, and we also live in a society where, once again, you can't punch people in the mouth.
No. You seen that video of the ump that the organ player starts playing Three Blind Mice?
Oh, yeah. He
ejects the organ player. It's just weak, soft, thin skin.
Thin skin, man. It's tough to be an umpire and have thin skin.
Yeah.
I just think for that umpire to, for him, no offense probably to him, but that was probably a place where the most authority has in his life. And,
maybe.
And he was all about it, man. Like he was just pretty, and here's the deal. Outside of 2 pitches, I thought he relatively did a good job.
Yeah.
Those 2 pitches and the ball that hit. And then the next inning, this kid, a kid for the other team, does an unbelievable acrobatic jumps in the air to avoid a ball hitting him.
Oh, really?
I mean, he jumps up and like hangs in the air, like pulls his knees way up, ball goes right underneath him. Dead ball, take your bag.
So it didn't hit him.
It did not even come close to hitting him. Like the kid jumped over the ball by like 2 feet. He calls a dead ball, sends him to first. Our head coach comes out and he's like, hey man, like that ball did not even come close to touching that kid. And he goes, I heard it hit him. He's like, you heard it maybe make contact with the ground twice as it went underneath him, but his feet were 2 foot above the ball. And he's like, no, I heard it hit him. And he goes, well, can I appeal? And he goes, you can appeal and go out there. He goes, but I'm just going to overrule whatever he says.
That's not how it works.
He said, I'm just going to overrule whatever he says because I heard it. And he goes, so if his eyes looking at it say never touched him, but you're going to overrule it off of something you say you hear. And he goes, that's right. And he goes, well, I guess it'd be a waste of time for me to go out there then, wouldn't it? And he goes, yes, it would, because I'm going to overrule it either way.
That's what I've been like. I'm going to appeal.
To do it?
Since we're going to waste some time, I'm going to go waste some time.
Yeah. So
because
anyway.
I feel it, because I hear it.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. So, sometimes you got guys that just have a little bit of an authoritative.
Yep.
Get a little power.
And it's because it's funny with youth sports because in Wellston, like I have a few of my youth kids that go and ump games.
Oh, yeah.
Because we need umps. And there's a coach from Luther last week that just let loose on this high school kid.
Okay. Because
of a judgment call. Like, it's one thing, like, I could dispute something that's not a judgment call.
Yeah, it's a rule thing.
A rule thing. On a judgment call, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste my time. It's not, like, if it's blatant, I might say something, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't, how is it supposed to help you look good to go rip a kid in front of all these people? Yeah, no, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't do any good to do that and embarrass a kid or whatever. I think you have to realize the situation. We had a situation at a Little League baseball game where, we had a dad, use his kid as a prop. Yeah,
I've seen
that's the worst.
He used his kid as a prop to be like, "Oh, I know you didn't bobble that ball. I know you caught it out right." When what the umpire called was absolute BS, and he said. Mm-hmm. And it was like using his kid as a prop. Yeah. And I was like, man, that's horribly inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And so, again, parents acting like idiots at a Little League sporting event. And then, this, like I said, this situation with this other coach, getting ejected. But shifting gears, something was cool at this tournament. So this tournament was in Tulsa. And our first game is against the Kansas City Cubs. Mm-hmm. And they're good. They're a majors team. We're a double-A team. Josiah's team's a double-A team, and so they're really, really good. And, man, they're fast. They were elite speed. Dude, routine ground balls to shortstop, beat it out. Routine ground ball to second base, they beat it out. Wow. These kids could fly. Mm-hmm. And they got a third baseman, big old strong kid. And they've got, a little speaker over there when they come up to bat. Yeah, and it's my least favorite thing in baseball. Yeah, and this kid's got big strong kid, comes up and he's got Morgan Wall. He's just walking, And anyway, they say next up to bat, it's Morgan Wall, and, starts in, and then it comes next up to bat, Tyrann Mathieu Jr. And I'm like, wait a minute. Tyrann Mathieu, the LSU legend, the, NFL All-Pro safety, Kansas City Chief, New Orleans Saint, safety. Sure enough, bud, I look behind the backstop, and there's Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. The Honey Badger himself. And so Josiah was catching, and he hit the ball hard, but he did strike out once. His son struck out once, and Josiah was catching. And so I was like, that's a pretty cool moment. You can always say, hey, I was catching when Tyrann Mathieu Jr.'s son struck out. Yeah. Because it probably won't happen a lot. No. Because that kid could hit a baseball. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. Pretty cool moment. Cool. I sent you a picture. You sent me a picture of the Honey Badger himself. He's a little bitty dude. Like, he's not very tall. He's a little bitty guy, but I ain't messing with him. No. Man. He was probably one of the absolute best college football players I've ever seen. He was a freak. And he's one of those people that you watch play football and you go, that guy doesn't feel anything. Dude, I mean, returning kicks, returning punts, returning interceptions, blocking punts. Mm-hmm. He was just a dude. Yeah. Just a dude.
Yep.
And one of the best collegiate football players I've ever seen. I mean, he's been good in the NFL, but like he was unbelievable in college. Yeah. And it was pretty cool. Got to see him this weekend. Stood right behind him when his son was playing in there. The next day, he
sniffed
was there.
him.
I sniffed, walked up to him.
Smells like Tyrone.
That's nice. That's nice. You smell like mahogany. Just smell like mahogany. You smell like just rich mahogany.
Oh, man.
Good times.
What if Tyron's one of the 7?
You know what? I don't think he'll ever know that this podcast exists.
Probably not.
Unless, we did have some Kansas City Chiefs, Anthony Sherman, the Shermanator, the fullback. He's been on Final Descent Outdoors before. You never know.
You never know these days.
You never know these days.
You
anyway,
never really know.
I would say as we kind of close things out on this podcast today, is one, I think it comes back around to just how we treat people. This whole ginger thing is, funny joke. We're laughing about it. But it does stem from a situation where people don't treat people the way that they deserve to be treated. And it doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter your hair color. It does not matter your ethnic background. It does not matter your wealth or lack of wealth status. What does Jesus call us to do?
Go and make disciples of all nations.
Of all nations and of all people.
In the name of the Father.
And everyone deserves and needs Jesus.
And if you don't like being around people that don't look like you or talk like you or act like you ain't going to like heaven much.
That's exactly right. That's a great word. And there's some people in the world that unfortunately live that way and act that way. And we need to... everybody needs the Lord and everybody needs Jesus. And, I've always been told the number one way to share your faith is through how you live your life. And that comes back to how you treat people. You treat people with respect. You treat people, you speak kindly, to people. Probably shouldn't get warnings at Little League baseball games.
Well, you said you.
Yeah, I did. Me.
You said you.
I did me. But, but I was respectful. Like, and he was like, that's a warning. And he goes, I was like, hey man, all right,
No.
Just, you wouldn't have been? What would you have done?
That's a warning.
For what?
For what? For your error? You're gone. Neat. All right. Bye-bye. Our deal, if a parent gets tossed, head coach gets tossed for 2 games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand. You got to control parents acting like idiots sometimes. So, anyway, all that being said, it comes back to how we treat people and how Jesus wants us to treat people. And, one of the most beautiful pictures in the Bible of Jesus treating someone differently than how society treats them was the woman at the well. One, Jesus made a decision to walk through Samaria. Most Jews would walk around it. They didn't want to go through it. They didn't want to deal with these half-breeds.
Mortal enemies.
Yeah, they were a half-breed people and looked down upon, and Jesus made the decision to walk through it, goes to the well. A lot of key factors. One's in the middle of the day. Women went and drew water at the beginning of the day, sometimes at the end of the day. She was there midday for a reason, because...
She was an outcast.
She was an outcast because she's had... multiple marriages. She's with another man that she's not married to. She's got a reputation. And another thing is that men didn't talk to women. And Jesus broke so many social boundaries by interacting with this woman and asking her for a drink. But through that conversation, obviously led to her salvation and to the salvation of her household. And who knows where the extent of that reach went. And so... just because somebody doesn't look like you or somebody doesn't act like you or do the things that you do, they need Jesus. And all of us who claim to be Christians need to be looking for opportunities to share our faith with people who look like us and people who don't.
Yeah. When Jesus was asked, what's the greatest commandment? Love your Lord your God with all your heart, your might, your strength, your soul, your everything. And the second thing is really like it. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're not doing that, you missed the boat.
Yeah, you did.
You missed the boat because if we can't love, then.
Well, and that's what we should be known for. That's what we should be known for. We should be known as Christians for our love for our neighbors.
They will know we are Christians by our love. You ever heard that hymn? Because our worship pastor loves it. I had never heard it.
I've never heard that before.
I had never, ever heard it.
I spent time in the old Church of Christ, and I ain't heard that one.
It was
nothing but hymns.
It's one. I had never heard it. But it sounds like it's like in a really weird key, and I'm like, I love the message of the song, but it's strange. But it's strange.
I've said that about you, Ginger.
Yeah.
Hard R.
Hard R.
Hard R'd you.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for putting up with our ridiculousness. Sorry we missed last week. It was Adam's fault.
I knew it. I was like, are we really going to get through this whole podcast without me being thrown under the bus?
I don't even know what happened. I was gone, actually.
2 weeks ago, we were on the road in Texas, and last week you were gone. I was just starting to be busy.
Yeah, I was just busy. But we're back, and thank you guys for tuning in.
You'll get what you get, and you won't throw a fit.
That's right, by gosh.
Yeah.
We'll bless you with the present. That's so not true. Yeah. Golly. We do appreciate all of you guys for tuning in and listening to us. And make sure you follow Adam on YouTube, Hurley Films, and then give Final Descent Outdoors a follow on all the social medias as well. Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. And if we can be praying for you and encouraging you in any way, we'd love to do that as well. Visit our website, finaldescentoutdoors.com, or any of the social medias. That's all I got, bud.
Ginger out.
No comment.